What's up, you guys? Welcome back. I'm glad to be back making another video in a reasonable time this time, actually. I'm actually on vacation right now. We are in Orlando, Florida, and our week is almost up. We're on our last couple days. We'll be headed back to Georgia. But yeah, so I had a request. Well, not really a request, but I read a status on Facebook the other day, and this is why I'm making this video now instead of waiting to head back home. I want to go ahead and make it before I get back home, so it's still fresh in my brain. I am going to put a little clip of the status that I saw so you guys can understand what this conversation is all about, but you already know what it is. Let's talk. Alright, you guys, so this is the status that was made. Just to give you a little background, in my hometown, there have been a couple of quote-unquote sex tapes being made. And this is just a status that I ran across after the last one was posted here recently. And I'm having a hard time dissecting a few things. And the biggest one right now is how loosely the younger generation handles sex in making these videos. Don't get me wrong, I know it happens, but it's an epidemic. Back in our day, we didn't do all of this, and I know things change with time and each generation is different. But boy, y'all are bold as hell. We didn't think about making videos back in the day. It's so private and intimate and seems as if it's the cool thing to do now. I know y'all are old enough, but my lord, anyone want to discuss and elaborate on the situation a little? And so I decided to discuss and elaborate a little. Okay, so my response was, speaking for the younger generation, there are so many kids who just don't have the proper guidance. There aren't adults that care enough to sit down with young men and teach them how to be gentlemen, and they don't teach young women how to respect themselves. All right, so first let me just go ahead and apologize for this lighting right here. It's okay, it's fine. Ignore the lighting, I know it's bad. But anyways, I want to break this down into sections. So I just read the first part. Honestly, all in all, there isn't, and when I said adults, I really shouldn't have just said adults. I really should have just said people in general. People like me, people, maybe slightly younger than me, people maybe slightly older than me, and then, of course, adults in general. So when I say there aren't enough, people giving proper guidance, I'm saying that there are so many of us saying how there's an issue with it and saying that this isn't right and this isn't wrong, or this isn't right and it shouldn't be this way, but there aren't enough of us doing anything about it. There aren't enough of us stepping up and being mentors to these kids, to these young people, to these teenagers, whatever you want to call them. And honestly, I feel like if we had more people to step up and sit down and talk to these kids, then things would be different. And one of the biggest reasons I feel as though, people think it's okay, or this younger generation thinks it's okay, is because honestly, we don't talk to them about sex. We assume that they know about it because they talked about it in sex ed, and we leave it at that. We don't sit down and talk to them about, hey, you don't have sex with everybody. You don't do that. So I feel like if we actually sat down and talked about it more, talked about the conversation more, then things would be different. When looking at, these young men, more specifically, to kind of migrate a little bit to the other part that I said, there aren't enough, men out there, older men, being leaders and teaching these young men how to be gentlemen and how to, respect women and understand that a woman's body is a body and not an object. And just speaking for my generation and more so around my age area, or my area of age, you know what I'm saying? I feel as though this generation looks at sex as, and as she said, sex used to be intimate and private. I don't think that this generation sees sex as that anymore. I feel like it's more so just, hey, let's be friends with benefits and nothing else, no strings attached. I don't care if you go and talk to other people. I don't even care if you have sex with other people. Let's just do it because it's sex and we both want to do it, And I wasn't raised that way. That's not how I was raised. That's not how I was brought up. So for me, it's pretty mind-blowing that people think it's okay to just go out and sleep with whoever, whenever. But that's just how this generation thinks about sex. And then when looking at these young women, I find it really funny because we say, or I read posts all the time about how there are too many city girls and not enough so-and-so and so-and-so. It's like, good girls. And that's true. Like, there are too many girls out here who just have that I don't care attitude, or like, not even that. There are just too many girls who are, walking around here being, I'm just going to say it a nice way, not being classy. Not holding standards for themselves, and really just not loving themselves or having any self-respect. There are too many girls walking around here that feel as though they have to flaunt every body part that they have in order to feel beautiful, because honestly that's the way that this generation has painted the picture. If you don't have the butt, you don't have the boobs, or if you don't show the butt, you don't show the boobs, then you're not beautiful. Then guys aren't going to want you. Guys aren't attracted to you. You're either too skinny or you're too fat. If you're not right in between, if you're not thick and you have the curves and everything, then you're unwanted. Girls, it's not true. One thing that I feel as though, in that mentorship group for, or mentoring young women, it's letting them know that they're beautiful. It's trying to build their self-esteem instead of tearing them down. And women, one thing that I want to stress to you, young ladies, stop tearing each other down and build each other up. That's one of the things that this generation struggles with so much, especially you ladies. You tear each other down instead of building each other up. You're all beautiful. Compliment each other, laugh with each other, and enjoy life. Life would be a whole much better place. Let me go on before I keep talking. All right, so there are too many babies raising babies and not enough wise adults teaching them right from wrong. Okay, again, I want to correct myself. Change adults to people. There aren't enough wise people, because it's not just the adults. It's everybody who should have enough maturity and wisdom to lead these young people. I'm just going to keep this one short and sweet because I don't want anyone to feel offended. When I said there are too many babies raising babies, I was really kind of just going on a whole different path with that. That could be a completely different topic, but I don't want any of you amazing young mothers to feel offended. But those, young mothers who are, raising kids and not really doing right by them, all I have to say to you is, just do better. Once you decide to lay in bed and, make a life, take care of it. Raise it to be, something, not nothing. Raise it to have standards. Raise that baby to, love itself, to have self-respect. And honestly, just if you are a young parent, not just a young mother, a young father too, if you're a young parent and you haven't grown up yet, all I can say to you is just grow up. And if you're not growing up for yourself, grow up for that child that you brought into this crazy world, because they need it. And I'm just going to leave that at that, because I don't want anybody to feel offended. All right, let's move on. Mixing that with how easy it is for kids to be able to access these things via the internet and social media, they grow up thinking it's okay. And I'm going on and on because this is my YouTube channel, so let's just finish talking about this. The big partaker in this is social media. Social media is a powerful, powerful tool. People use it for businesses. People use it, for their personal life. People use it for marketing. Social media is used for pretty much everything right now. Between advertisements and all, it's used. However, social media is a blessing and a curse. It's so easy to access for these young kids, and they can access things that they shouldn't access at certain ages, that they shouldn't see, that they shouldn't know about, and they go and they do their research, and Google is at the tip of their tongue, or the tip of their fingers, not the tip of their tongue. Google is right at the tip of their fingers. They can literally read something, not understand it, and go Google it, and then they have all the answers to it. So kids are being exposed to all of this stuff at such a young age, and honestly, I look back now and I understand why, my parents were hesitant about getting me a phone at such a young age, because there's a lot that is posted on this media for them. And once they're open to it, and once they see it, they think it's okay, when in reality it's not. And then they don't have anyone there. This all goes back to not having anyone there to teach them right from wrong, to guide them in the right direction, to show them that, hey, you know, just because this person is doing that doesn't mean it's okay for you to do it. You know, it goes back to the whole saying, if this person jumps off a bridge, are you going to follow them? But I don't even know if that's even a phrase anymore. Like, times are changing, yes. And, you know, in some senses, that's fine. With the new technology and the advances in technology, you know, great, perfect. But some things are becoming okay that really, in my opinion, should not be okay. I'm not going to speak too much on this topic anymore because I don't want to step on any toes, hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm just going to leave it at some things in this generation, in this day and time, are changing that shouldn't be okay. And yeah, like I said, I'm just leaving it at that. I could really talk about this topic longer, but I really don't want to offend anybody, so I'm going to go ahead and click this off button on this camera. Y'all already know what this is. Stay positive, keep the faith, keep the motivation, keep the drive, keep all that good stuff, positive energy. This was a little different than the videos I normally make. I switch it up on y'all a little bit, but you already know what it is. Be on the lookout for more material. Hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe button for me, and y'all be great. You already know what it is. JB out.